Bounce Back Generation started in 2011 as Healthy Generations Project at the public housing site Potrero Terraces and Annex in San Francisco. Like many public housing sites in the Bay Area, Potrero suffers from high levels of poverty, violence, and health disparities, which leads to high levels of stress for both adults and kids. One grandmother told us, "We are all suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder." We began by reaching out to parents and leaders in the community, and we talked about the ways in which we could reduce the impacts of those stressors. These difficult conditions can also include ACEs, or adverse childhood experiences, such as abuse, neglect, household dysfunction, and neighborhood violence. Children in public housing can experience ACEs, but children everywhere are vulnerable. ACEs increase cognitive and behavioral problems and can lead to a lifetime of health and wellness issues. How could we help children and adults manage adversity, stress, and trauma better? That was a question we sought to answer. The peers became community health leaders, and they urged us to do a few simple things. Prepare family dinners 3 nights a week. That included a reading night, play night, and family laid-back night, a walking school bus, and weekly teen and adult workshops. What the community health leaders were doing was establishing themselves as resources in the neighborhood, and Healthy Generations Project was a place that offered experiences in relationship and community building. I'll let community health leader Brenda Cottrell explain what she saw the benefits of these simple activities were.
Everything about HGP is a valuable asset to the community because, first of all, we say the blessing. We wash up, we wash our hands. We say the blessing before we eat our food. We let them know to appreciate the food, that is nutritious, is healthy for their bodies. And then we feed the community, It doesn't cost them anything. They have a place to come for an hour to relax. It takes some of the pressure off the parents because they don't have to cook. They can bring their children as family and children-family bonding time, And we don't have a lot of that going on in our community. I can't say what goes on behind closed doors, but for that 1 hour, we have their full attention, And the families we sit them together at the table, and then we serve them. I think it's quality. It adds quality to the family. I think it's wonderful. I love it.
Simple, right? But it actually isn't. These activities were directly related to neuroscientific evidence that shows that certain elements in our lives can help us to manage the negative effects of adversity, stress, and trauma. It's not just about adopting good habits. It's about having emotional and physically significant developmental boosters. These boosters calm the body, prepare the mind to learn, establish behaviors that place our mind and body in homeostasis, a hormonal and nervous system condition that promotes brain and body health long term. Independent studies of our activities showed our work was helping children, youth, and their parents. We outlined 6 major things we were doing, foundational principles that can improve health and make us more resilient to the effects of stress and trauma. These became known as the building blocks for resilience. For us, resilience wasn't a state of being, but a process we are building throughout our lives with supports from each other, self-knowledge, self-care, and an understanding of how our brains and bodies work when under high levels of stress, trauma, and adversity. Through 2 San Francisco sugar drink distributor tax grants, we had done some training on how to film community members practicing our building blocks while we taught resilient health habits. Then COVID hit, and like so many organizations, we found ourselves unable to practice our high-touch in-person activities. So we went indoors to record how we were practicing safety and the building blocks for resilience.
I have one question for you. Understanding how we've been dealing with the COVID situation and we got to stay in the house, and we got to always practice safety as far as gloves, washing our hands. How have you been feeling about that?
Let's go check it out. Boom, boom, boom. So we have...
You see this glass right here? This is how much sugar is in one Coke, and that's a lot.
And so like the balance between being like a piece, one of many pieces in a puzzle that all come together to create one big image.
You grieve, everybody has their right, but nobody knows how long it takes to get over grief.
So where are we now? BBG is now a media-based nonprofit creating online and in-person content to help youth find their path to resilience. Our social media provides short nervous system regulation tools. BBG TV is our website, which answers your questions about how to build long-term resilience into our lives. Our community learning and support spaces, called classes, are live online or in-person workshops about how our brains and bodies work while under stress. We also have a YouTube channel and podcast. Our goal in 2023 is to reach over 10,000 Bay Area youth to help them feel good, learn more, and bounce back with us. The bottom line is healthy living starts with feeling protected and safe, creating healthy relationships, learning positive ways to cope and develop good habits, feeling supported as we build our confidence and self-efficacy, finding places to belong and places to tell our stories. That's Bounce Back Generation. We share what we do online, in person, where youth are at and adults can access too. We hope you'll join us.